It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from North Brewing Company and it's a can of their Songbird IPA. It's available in Sainsbury's. 440ml can. 6% ABV. I quite like the North branding. Whenever you walk into a supermarket or a shop and you see North Brewing Company's beers, you've got a very good idea from a distance that it's a North beer. It's very distinctive. Now, I'm not a graphic designer or an artist or anything like that, so I can't quite describe why I know it's a North beer. Maybe it's the lines, maybe it's the shapes on the can, but I can see a North beer from, like, if I'm walking down the aisle, 4 aisles away, I'll see it and I go, yeah, that's definitely a North beer. So I like their branding. It's very simple but very effective. This was £3.50 a can in Sainsbury's supermarket. Brand new beer into Sainsbury's. Without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Now, I've had some beers from North Brewing Company recently that are sold exclusively in their bottle shop and in their bars. And of course, I've had some North Brewing Company beers that have been launched into supermarkets. And what I'm interested in looking at here, now, and this is just what I do as a reviewer, so I'm allowed to do this. It's part of what we do, isn't it? We pick things apart. We ruffle around where people are not really kind of ruffling around. It's what we do as reviewers. I'm interested to know, is there a difference between the beers that are in the North Brewing Company bars and sold online, and the difference between, is it a difference with their supermarket beers? Let's have a look. £3.50 a can, 1 to 2 finger white head, hazy, light amber coloured beer, good levels of carbonation rolling around the glass there. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. It smells juicy. It's a little tropical, little grapefruity. It smells a little bit dry and earthy. But it smells okay. It smells okay. Let's dive into this one then. Cheers. I like that. I like that. Fair play. Decent beer. Stone the Crows. Carbonation. The first thing I get is the carbonation pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth, releasing more of the flavour. It's got a lovely mouthfeel, a slightly creamy, rich mouthfeel for that 6% ABV. I don't know at this moment. I'm going to say oats. I'm going to say oats over lactose. Just barley and wheat. I mean, fair play, fair play. It's just barley and wheat. They've managed to get a really lovely creamy mouthfeel from barley and wheat. But then again, if you think of Weiss beer, German Weiss beer, that's got a lovely creamy, rich mouthfeel, and that comes from the wheat. It's lovely. This is a really decent beer. Very pineapple-y. Juicy pineapples, blueberries, a little bit of grapefruit, orange peel, a little bit of tangerine. It's fantastic. It's like putting your face into a punch bowl. at a wedding, a punch bowl at a wedding. Psh, get your head in and have a drink. It's very kind of tropical. It's very juicy and drinkable. Lovely mouthfeel. Now, always honest, I'm never ever kind of gonna walk away from the truth as it said. Now, I have been reviewing a lot of North beers recently. This week, come back from Norway last week. This week, I've probably reviewed 4 North Brewing Company's beers, which were kindly sent to me by North. So when I heard that Sainsbury's had launched a load of craft beer, I went in for these craft beers yesterday. I didn't know North had put a beer in with Sainsbury's, so I picked it up. So the beers that they've sent me are very fresh in my mind. Very fresh in my mind. I mean, I have one here. I have one just sitting here, which I'm going to get round to soon. The 25th anniversary American Pale Ale, 5.6% ABV. I'm really looking forward to that one. 25 years of North Bar, by the way, which is a terrific achievement by those guys up there. So being fresh in my mind, I'm able to kind of give my opinion. It's only my opinion. Is the beer from the supermarket the same as the beer from their website? On this basis, drinking this beer after drinking North Beer Company's beers just yesterday, I would say yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a really lovely example of an IPA. Got great lacing on the glass. As you roll the beer around in the glass, you can see that carbonation chasing the head of the glass. And this reminds me of the Lost Cosmonauts days, where you got very excited when you see a beer from North Brewing Company in Tesco's or Sainsbury's or Morrison's. I know I had a little bit of a blip. Or was it me? I know there was I'll say a little bit of a blip over the last, I'd say 6 months or so, where I wasn't really a fan of the beers that North Brewing Company put into Tesco. But again, it's just my personal opinion. It's just the way I think. The trouble is, and I'm going to be honest with you now, and I'm sorry if I'm going slightly off course here, but because I've been reviewing beer on YouTube for 12 years, and I can remember when Brewdog were extremely fantastic when they made their beers. Their beers were of the highest quality. Same with Thornbridge. I remember Thornbridge Jaipur and Thornbridge Kipling when it was just memorable beer. It was terrific beer. And I watched these companies, I watched the level of quality fall. So you can imagine then when other companies launch their beers into supermarkets, I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for a level of quality to be maintained. Or if it's not maintained, like Brewdog and Thornbridge not so bad. Definitely Brewdog. Brewdog Punk IPA is a completely different beer than what it was. So what I'm trying to say is I've got that experience. I've got that knowledge that as a company grows, there's always a temptation. There's a temptation to lower the quality of the beer. And I said to myself, when Brewdog done it and Thornbridge do it, I will document when a brewer decides to not make their beer this quality anymore, but this quality, just lowering the bar a little bit with the growth of the company. So you can imagine over the summer months of 2022, my alarm, where there was 2 beers in a row from North Brewing Company that launched into Tesco that I just didn't like. And I went into the reviews being massively positive. I went into the reviews talking about Lost Cosmonauts and how much of a terrific beer it is. And then I come out of those 2 reviews like, I didn't really like those beers. And then, thankfully, we have one here, and the beers, of course, that North sent me over the last week or so. This is great. This is great. This reminds me of Lost Cosmonauts. It's great to look at. It's got a fantastic aroma. It's got a wonderful taste. It's juicy. It's superb. It's the type of beer, knowing that you have well, I don't, but if you have a Sainsbury's near you, this is the type of beer that you wouldn't mind popping out to Sainsbury for, to have a 4-pack on a Sunday afternoon. This is well worth a £3.50 that it's selling for. It's juicy, it's delicious, it's lovely. I like it. I really, really like this beer. North Brewing Company's Songbird IPA, 6% ABV. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.